And down here at the bottom right-hand corner of Entomb Valley, we have our red Zerg player from StarTale. Winner of the last game, trying to close it out right here for StarTale. It's Curious. And his opponent here in the upper right-hand corner, it says Killer. The guy's also known as MVP Sniper because we don't have enough killers inside of the StarCraft 2 world. So only one for Dignitas, one for, well, Complexity, and, you know, one for MVP.
A little bit of a prevalence there.
Yes. A lot of guys named Killer.
They might exist.
Yes.
Only a little, though.
Yes. Killer.
ZVZ, man.
On Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone out there, by the way. So, just want to throw that out there. Hope you guys have...
your costumes at us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why didn't we say that before? Yeah. Tweet us some costumes. Curious about those. So,
curious about those as you're hovering over the Overlord. Curious, and I'm reading it, and then you said it. And
curious always.
Cool.
Curious always is good for good puns because it's like, well, I'm curious what he's going to do. Are you?
Curious about.
Yes. Hey, look at that. They're going to find each other.
Curiosity. Curious is no longer curious about the Overlord positioning of the sniper. Positioning and sniper. Man, we are just on fire right now, Kevin.
Yeah.
People are literally, viewers right now, they're like covering their mouths like, oh my god, look at all these sick puns.
I mean, we have made at least a half dozen people laugh today. So at least a half dozen. And the rest are just flying away in droves, getting as far away from the stream as they can.
Halloween is not an apt day to go running in places that you have not been to before, though.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because that made sense.
Yeah.
Overlord, anyway, going to find out that Curious is opened with a hatchery first, guys. He's following it up with a relatively quick spawning pool. Sniper is going to be basically doing the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, pretty much. Going for a...
what's the word when you flip a fraction over?
When you flip a fraction over?
Reciprocal. That's what it's called.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, the reciprocal. I like it. And that is indeed Pool. Then Gas coming up right afterwards, after the expansion. Of course, Sniper's expansion is about, let's see here, 30 seconds behind. So we'll see if Curious has potential to, I should say, Sniper has a potential to jump in there, do any sort of early damage, or if, you know, having that earlier Queen out, though, you don't really lose a whole lot in terms of economy because you get the earlier inject, you can take advantage of it a bit quicker, so they are largely going to draw themselves to a draw, and it's just going to see how this kind of develops afterwards.
Yeah, I'll be watching the gases more than anything else, because, I mean, economically, sure, okay. He's the tiniest, a little bit ahead, but as you said, not too much. I'm waiting for we're at 70 gas for both players pretty much at this moment. Notice the first real difference besides maybe this Overlord dying, which could absolutely happen. Are those Zerglings on the field? I think there's 4 Zerglings out at this moment for Curious. They're marching 2 there, and actually that's it. I think it's just 2. So, but no, he turns around with the Queen and decides not to chase down the Overlord, which is a little bit surprising to me, but especially because he saw that 15 hatch. But oh well. So things going to stay pretty even. Both players still mining gas. It looks like they are mining with 3, in fact. Yeah, both players mining with 3 and dropping Baneling Nests at the exact same time. This is crazy, man. I feel like we're watching PvP.
That's right. So, you know what, ZVZ has gotten pretty interesting as you move through the mid-game, though, because that's where things kind of diverge. We saw in the Life versus Hyun set on Monday, of course, that the... you know, we saw a lot of Roach Infester play almost exclusively. A couple games with Mutas from Life, but that was about it. Mutas have been more and more prevalent, and that's my kind of favorite brand of ZVZ at the moment, so I'm always kind of rooting for that to happen because I think it can be very fun, especially the players who have ridiculous micro and they keep more Zerglings underneath their Mutas when you have Muta versus Muta battles, so they can absorb more Glaive Worm shots, and stuff like that is just really fun to watch. Yeah,
and it's definitely one of the most attentive to detail, I guess. Like, if you're really... Like, I also like when a player, you have to go in when you're up against infestors, you have to lead with 1 Muta all the time. Because if you bring in all of your Mutas, you're going to get caught by fungal growth. But, you know, if you lead with just 1 Mutalist, can kind of use it as, like, the scout.
Yes.
Scout ahead with your Mutas, and then the rest of the Mutas don't get caught. So I see what you're saying, man. Mutas are very entertaining. It's very skill-based. But as of now, it's going to be just Baneling on Baneling action. Ling's going to try to come in here for Sniper, or for Curious. He gets away. Wow, look at that getaway right before those Banelings. That was so close.
That was pretty pretty cool, especially because he was trying to kill 4 Banelings all at the same time, but unfortunately wasn't able to get them because, of course, the cocoons can sustain a little bit more damage there, and the 2 Banelings that were morphing in for Sniper did survive that blast. So, after all is said and done, looks like he's up by 2 supply, he's up by 3 workers altogether, he has a few less Zerglings on the map, but that's really our only differences between these 2 players.
Yeah, Sniper is getting the map control at the moment, though, marching across with his Banelings, with his Zerglings. He's still only got 2 Banelings, so it doesn't... I mean, at this moment, if we see him morph in, 3-4 Banelings, he does have that 100 gas, so it's a viable option. He can use his Banelings for defense. Did Curious make Banelings? Can we look at his natural?
He has, yeah, 2, it looks like, in defense, or 3 in defense, yeah.
He's trying to circle around the banana and see if he can manage to... Nope, it looks like he is caught once again. Sniper, man. He's all over there. He's got his crosshairs on those Zerglings, and he is not letting them off.
That's right. So let's see here now. As Layer Tech is going to finish at about the same time for each player. A little bit quicker for Sniper, but he hasn't been able to take advantage of that quite yet. So it looks like the time that they actually do is going to be about at a draw. Trying to catch a few Zerglings with these Banelings, and actually Curious coming from behind and trying to circle those units back into his own Banelings. So a little bit of a crazy back and forth there, but not much comes of that little trade.
The Banelings are out there right now with no Zergling support, which is actually something that's pretty dangerous. Sniper realizes that, sends in 2 Zerglings to try to pick them off, and those Zerglings are going to die, most assuredly. The rest of it is just going to be defense on Sniper's part, and both players looking pretty impenetrable right now, but there's the Spire on the way for Curious. He's going to be the first player going for some serious tech. Now Roaches are on the way for Sniper as well. Trying to pop 3 Banelings with 2 is Sniper, but doesn't manage to get it off. Now 2 Zerglings going to go chase these Banelings, and one of them may go down.
Ooh, it does.
Than I expected.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Like, actually,
that's the hurt one. Your life means less than mine. I wonder how suicide units actually pick which ones need to explode first. Does it matter to them? I don't know.
They probably just pick the other ones all the time.
I guess so. The hive mind just kind of tells them and they go, oh, Curious actually losing a unit there up at the front. Trying to circle back in once again, but he could get caught out in the open. No, manages to sneak on by, and he's going to put pressure on this 3rd. That is going to essentially trap these units, though. So he better get a cancel on this base or do significant damage to his opponent's Zerglings.
Oh, that's a really nice surround for Curious. Curious now going to wants to snipe that hatchery, but now the Roaches arrive, so that is no longer a viable option. Meanwhile, we've got Roaches traversing across the middle of the map, going to put some pressure on Curious. Curious, does he have a lot of defense at home? The answer is not all that much. Some Zerglings, Banelings, and a Queen, but not enough to stop any reinforcing Roaches, which are going to be on the way. The Zerglings are making things very scary, though, at the same time for Sniper, so he does need to leave some defense. Roach is going to be engaging the Banelings, exploding, doing a moderate amount of damage. The Overlord's trying to prevent any target fire. There
are 11 Mutalisks coming up right now for Curious, so he needs to get those up and he needs to get those in the defense. But don't forget, Mutalisks have very, very low DPS, so even though there's no chance for the Roaches to turn their acid spitting up and hit those Mutalisks, they will still do some significant damage before they're actually dispatched of.
Yeah, this is, Curious is going to sustain a lot of damage here, pretty much no matter what. And take a look, he's got an Infestation Pit working on it, Queen's popping out, Spore Crawler. So the damage that Curious is sustaining right now by these Roaches, here comes some more to deal more damage to the drone line. He's not going to be able to reciprocate it onto Sniper's economy, because Sniper's going to have the necessary defense in place by the time Curious can arrive with these mutas.
And looks like he's taking out a base on the left-hand side. He's almost got that hatchery taken out. He's just continuing to flood in with more and more units. And Curious has now lost 27 workers. He's down to just 20 versus his opponent's 48. He even wasn't able to kill that hatchery in the top left-hand corner, so the production's still being utilized by Sniper.
Yeah, things are looking dire for Curious. Sniper doing so much damage with those Roaches, and he's got enough defense at home to deal with these mutas in most likely. Now, he hasn't started up any Infestors yet, which actually surprised me. He's sitting on 600 gas. The Pathogen Glance are more than 30 seconds done. There we go. Now the Infestors start up, but that is pretty late. The mutas are going to go for their all-in, if you will. And, well, they're going to be thwarted away. There's too many Queens there, but the bases are connected by creep. Oh, there better be a lot of Spore Crawlers in that main.
Okay, well, he is going to lose this hatchery off to the left for sure. Queen goes down too, and the Queens are trying to rally each other back. They've done a nice job transfusing, and they've actually killed 2 of these Mutalisks. The original 11 is down to just 9 for now, but still, look at the Sniper is continuing to do damage in his opponent's base.
Wow.
His opponent's still just at 21 workers. He's lost 30 this entire game, and even though these Mutalisks are doing damage, Sniper has a potential to recover against this.
Well, yeah, now he's got the Infestors out on the field, so Those mutas can't even, he may even catch them here as they're flying by the front. If he pulls away the second he sees the infestors. Curious, that was so dangerous, man, that was so dangerous. But now the Zerglings are going to be coming and joining up with those mutas. There's really just not too much he can do in all honesty, though. Curious is in a very difficult position. Can we actually see the worker counts? I see the Curious is popping out 8 right now, whereas Sniper's working on roaches. So this is actually that classic ZVZ situation, Kevin, where like, you know that the Zerg is droning, so you wait just 20, 30 seconds, and then you go kill them.
Yep, and it looks like it's 36 workers to 42, so still a bit of an advantage, but of course, that's all Larva that Curious wanted to put into units to defend this rather than trying to get out there and attack. So, let's see now, as these Queens have done a pretty fair job of getting some creep down, because I assume they're going to be used in the final attack, because their transfusions are going to be so valuable. There's so many Queens out there, and we'll see what they're able to do. If he can catch these Mutalisks pretty well. Nice split from Curious as he tries to get around the edge. Still in range of the Spore Crawler, though, and the Infestors start to make their way back, so only one worker went down.
Oh, he used a low-health Muta. That was so smart. Because if your Muta's going to get caught by an Infestor, you don't want it to be one of your full health Mutas. So I like the attention to detail there out at Curious, trying to make the most out of every single unit that he does have available to him. But, I mean, it's still so difficult because Sniper's big push is about to come. Yeah,
those units that he has available to him, there's not that many of them. In fact, there's only 8 Mutas remaining now. Resources lost. Yeah, as you can see, Curious has lost about 1,300 more resources. He probably will force a cancel here, as it's going to take a while for the units to make their way up for Sniper. But even if he does, I think that Sniper could honestly just run out and kill his opponent right now, and I'm a little surprised that he doesn't try and test the waters at all or have a little bit better read on that.
Little Baneling explosion there. So many Spore Crawlers going down for Curious. He knows this attack is imminent. But, well, honestly, Sniper from this point can just be like, oh, you build a lot of Spine Crawlers. Well, let me just deny your third while I take a fourth. Like, actually, his third was denied successfully by Curious, which is really, really impressive from Curious's perspective. It's a long road back to victory, and he needs to first survive this attack.
Okay, well, Curious is pinning his opponent, or tried to pin his opponent back for a while, was successful for it for the time being, and not going to do it anymore. Going to use these Infested Terrans to absorb some of the shots from those Spine Crawlers, and then going to roll his way up afterwards. Baneling's connecting with a few Hydralisks, and they do some damage, but the Spine Crawlers aren't going to be enough. A Fungal actually landed on most of those Zerglings, and look how quickly they die.
Yep, Spine Crawlers, you know, without enough meat in front of them, just they don't have any hit points. They die really, really easy. They're extremely squishy.
Yes.
And although they do have like those cool ridged walls around them, it doesn't really do anything. So.
No. Doesn't even wall in. Hopefully that will be taken care of by Heart of the Swarm, though.
Yeah, it will.
But yeah, I mean, Sniper's just rolling ahead right now. Let's see, we're gonna watch these workers. Lost tab go way up here in just a second as 35 workers have been killed. Even if it gets to that point, yeah, Curious leaves the game, and Sniper, he does his job. It's now 4-3, but he's still got to win 2 games in a row.
It's actually super impressive out of Sniper, though, because Zeke's used his worst matchup by like a pretty decent margin. He's like really, really good at all his other matchups. So I'm wondering if we might see Life out of StarTale. That would be an interesting pick, you know. Yeah.
Well, it's actually going to be a guy who boasted that he will never lose to Zergs if he uses his Immortal Sentry All-In that he has specifically prepared. It's going to be Parting. So Parting is going to be the 4th player out of StarTale. Let's see if he uses said Sentry Immortal All-In that he says can never lose and tries to finish things right here. We're going to run to a commercial break, and when we get back, it's game number 8. Things are getting close here. IPTL.